Hey guys, welcome to our new studio. We're just testing it out, see what you guys think. So, I'm Casey, this is Renee. Welcome to Bargain Hunters Thrift Talk Show.
So here's the funny part. I don't know what she's talking about. I didn't tell her what this video is about. So obviously
I'm making it up as I go along, right? Isn't that what half of life is about?
Fake it till you make it.
Woo.
So you guys know we're gonna build our studio, but we have absolutely done nothing except move this desk and his chair over a little bit. A lot of you guys said that that you want us to keep these chairs. You really like the chairs.
Yeah, these chairs are super nice and really comfortable.
So we might keep that. We're about to tell you a story. If you saw the headline, you know the story we'll tell you about. So we figured just for fun, instead of having the whole studio set up, let's just show an episode. Let's just do... My thing was kind of to have a desk, kind of like the Conan O'Brien, Jay Leno type of thing. Because if we do show some stuff, we have a workspace. We'll have Casey here as my special guest. And if other people come, we can have special guests. So we're going to tell you that story today. But before what we want to do, we just want to show you the studio. You see, we have a big space right here. We can do a couple different things. First, we were thinking about maybe doing a green screen background, but I think we're going to keep it real with a window in our warehouse, which you see lots of merchandise in the back.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to decorate the back. Maybe we'll put up a bunch of bookshelves and show some of our collectibles that we really like. You know, some cool items or just things that are for sale. And then just let us know what you guys think. How should the studio be? And also the most important thing, if you want us to see videos like this, like it, comment, support the channel. It's absolutely free, guys. And one of the things that we wanted to do on the channel, I think, you know, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, have a little video coming out where we tell stories of some of the things that's happening, where we'll talk about news flashes, like about something really big lockers. That was just another amazing storage find. Maybe I'll look it up. We'll do that as the next video. And then we'll just kind of interact and share. Maybe we'll do some lives and stuff from that.
What about our Q&A Sundays? Remember when we used to do that?
We used to do Q&A Sundays, but we barely have time anymore. Like Sunday's like a day that's like almost a family day now.
He's only saying that because football season's going on right now. It's like 12 hours of football on Sundays.
6. Unless it's a really good night team. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So you guys support it. But anyway, so this video, what I'm going to talk about, how we got kicked off Amazon.
Ooh.
I have people constantly asking me questions like, hey, Renee, you said a long time ago you're going to share that story. So I guess I should share that story, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So we'll let Renee say it, because I may say things that Renee's going to be like, we can't say that on camera.
No, it's different. So, hey, look. Amazon is a very different company. Like, so when you list stuff on eBay, eBay is a platform that you sell on, and they just collect their fees. And people complain that the fees are high all the time, but they're even higher on Amazon. And
we just think that eBay is a little bit more user-friendly or seller-friendly, right?
yeah, so it changed, but what happened is, so the problem with Amazon, you compete with them. So if you sell this product and you do really good and they see that you have a lot of sales, they'll just copy you. They'll make the Amazon brand or they'll import it. Like with DVDs a few years ago, if you were selling DVDs, which we're selling a lot of and a lot of brand new stuff, in order to continue selling, they wanted to see all your invoices, where you buy them, from your wholesalers with all contact information. And what ended up happening to a lot of guys, I know several guys that happened that had really exclusive products, Amazon contacted these people and bought the thing directly. But instead of ordering 200 CDs, they said, hey, we'll take 2,000, but we want it at this price. And then Amazon was selling it for less than these guys were buying them wholesale. So that's a drawback.
That's a little dirty.
Well, I mean, it's one of those corporations that just wants everything, you know.
Jeff Bezos.
It's okay. I mean, you know, it's one of them catch-22s. But I mean, that's even fine. That's their prerogative. I mean, that's their business. If that's how they want to do it, you know, they are open about it. They're not trying to hide it. I mean, they flat out tell you. But the problem with Amazon is there's no support. And eBay used to be that way too, but then they changed. So this is how we got kicked off. So we were filming Storage Wars, and we used to do like every year on Amazon like over $100,000. We would do a lot of books, which is still the best profitable one, especially older books. We would do a lot of CDs, a lot
CDs,
of DVDs. We used to make a living on box sets.
Oh, yeah.
So we used to pay
Board
all our
games.
bills. Board games were
And
great.
then, like Star Wars, anything with the barcode. Any toy, action figure.
Toys were really great. Toys bring on Amazon 20 to 30% more than they do on eBay because people just want to click and ship.
And don't forget to share with them how you found out about selling on Amazon versus eBay. I don't know if
Or
you
how
wanna
we
share that.
originally got
Yeah.
on Amazon?
Yeah.
Okay, before we tell you how we got kicked off. So the way we originally got on Amazon, so we used to be in a swap meet. We used to have like 10 employees, 2 24-foot truckloads of merchandise.
You
fresh.
wouldn't believe how big the space was. 24 parking spaces. People would come and be like, oh my God, where does this start and where does this end? It was so massive how much stuff we had out there.
Yeah, and I was copying, there was about 3-4 other guys who did the same thing, and I was copying their concept, basically. And they taught me, too, so, but then, you know, we're obviously competing. But one of the things where you have in the early days, remember those T-Mobile Sidekick phones where the keyboard came up and stuff like this? People used to come and buy, like one time we bought this really rare DVD collection. Everything was like weird B-rated sci-fi and horror. And I had guys literally there from 6 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon just making huge piles. And they looked up, because they didn't want to take a risk. You know, a lot of these young guys never want to take a risk. So they looked up every single thing. And if it was profitable, they kept it in a stack, and people were buying hundreds. The funny part of that is like, okay, well, I'm taking 200. What kind of deal can you make me? I'm like, no deal at all. Because you looked up every one of them. I know anyone that you put aside that I'm charging you $3 for, you're gonna sell for minimum for $10. It's like, well, that doesn't matter. I'm like, okay, well, they're, like I said, I always said they're $3 a piece. I never said a discount them. They're $3 a piece. Buy them or don't. It's like, I've been here all day. I'm like, yes. The price has been all day $3. So buy them or don't buy them. And of course, they all bought them because there was DVDs in there for $40-50. So I'm like, man, I wish I would be more advanced at the time and do it. Then the scanners came out. So all these guys started coming. If you guys been in the business for a while, the socket scans, we had them too. And they would just come scan, 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 scan. And
yeah, and this story was probably like, what, 12 to 14 years old?
Probably 14 years old. Tatiana was really young, so we're just building the company. This is before our store. And a lot of these guys were really cocky and rude. They thought, you know, they would be in their flip-flops and their backpack. And they would they would try to treat us like we're, like we were dirty, like we're swap meet scum. And a lot of the other swap meeters said that too. But we're the ones that move tens of thousands of merchandise every week. But still, they were cocky. They were just young. They don't know how to treat people. So that's why I tell you guys all the time, when you do business, the most important thing, it doesn't matter if it's a $1 deal or $10,000 deal, or if you do it or not, treat everybody with respect, because it can really, really bite you in the ass. And this particular scenario, so this guy comes, I already didn't like him that much because he's always complaining, always arguing. But he's, you know, I know he's making a lot of money and stuff, but it's fine. I'm flipping. I'm still making money. So we just bought this storage unit. It used to be some kind of Indian philosophical store, like meditation and all that stuff.
Right.
And there was just like boxes and boxes of brand new books. And I had them out on the table. And
whenever you see books that are like meditation or anything really specific like that, those are usually like home runs to sell online.
Oh, you know, actually, that was the second time he came. So he was here the week before, and he built up a bunch of books. And he wanted to buy the books, and he asked me, hey, how much you want for these books? There were some kind of D&D books and stuff like this, or like also special subject books. And I'm like, well, how much do they scan for? And he's like, that doesn't matter.
Oh,
he
yeah,
goes like,
does.
I'll pay $1 a book. Like everywhere else, I'll pay $1 a book. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to sell them for $1 a book. And I'm like, what do they scan for? And then, so then I just tried to look up one by hand. I'm like, well, this comes out at $27 on Amazon, so I'll take $10. You still 2.5 times your money, but for those guys, that wasn't good enough. They want to spend $1 and sell it for 27, you know? But I'm taking all the risk. And they wouldn't just say, hey, how about everything? They just want to pick just the winners. He's like, I pay $1 a book. If you want to know what it scans for, educate yourself. I'm like,
He said that to the wrong person.
yeah, because I guarantee you.
Renee came home, figured out where to order the scanner.
We knew what it was. I ordered the
Yeah.
stupid scanner with $1,300 at the time. We ordered with the scanner. At the time, I think it was a seller tool we had. Later on, I went to Needle Scan. And I bought the whole socket scan out the socket C. I still have it somewhere, C7P scanner. Now your iPhone can do everything super fast too. And just bam, bam, bam. Next time he came, and I really didn't like this guy because he was really rude to everybody. He thought it was very... There's another guy in flip-flop backpack. He always was in a hurry, never wanted to talk to you. And it's just like he felt like we were here to supply him with merchandise, you know? And I tell you guys all the time, if you're in a business and you make most of your money selling to other dealers, you probably won't be successful in the long run.
Right.
Because there's not enough merchandise. And there's some dealers that are really reasonable. So I had dealers before that say, hey, Renee, I mean, we had one guy that come to our store. He had a huge corporation. He goes like, we'll scan it, we'll put it all in, we'll pay you 70% of retail. We'll take everything.
That was a Scottish guy or Irish guy?
Scottish guy. He was really nice. So he was actually pretty good about it. We did a lot of business with him when we had the store because at that point, our business got so big, I wasn't worried about CDs and stuff like this. And I got boxes somewhere where every CD is $10, $20 at a time. So, but what happened with this guy, so next week he came and then we bought the Indian store and we had all these books of brand new stuff and I haven't even had a chance to look at them. My guys put them on a table in front of me. And of course he scans them. He comes, how much are these books? And he's really cocky. I'm like, 1 second. I pull out my scanner. Beam! Oh, these are $20. I'll take $15 each. He's like, I'll pay $1. I'm like, that's okay. Hey, Emmanuel, take all these books, put them in our Amazon pile just to piss him off. We didn't even have an Amazon account at the time. You know? And then And I told like, oh, so they think they all have us playing against each other, but all the storage buyers, even though that we compete, we are still a community and we're kind of a clique. So this other guy, Steve, which taught me a lot in the business, he at the time got like black magic books, which are usually really, really good books. It's a weirder subject. And I mean, when I say really good books, every book is 10, 15, 20 bucks. And he already told me. So the guy goes over there, looks at the books, and Steve goes like, hey, Renee, can I borrow that scanner now? I'm like, yeah. So I go over there, I'm like, all you have to do is scan it, tells you the price. And the guy got so mad. And I'm like, wait, we don't have to write to look up prices? What do you think? And he just got an attitude. And then, you know, he came out a few more weeks, but eventually I made sure, just because the guy was a dick, I made sure that I told everybody about the scanner. Like within 2 months, everybody that was buying storage units, and it was on Kobe Swap Me at the time, knew about scanners. They all bought scanners. Mark Converse, which is another good friend that taught me a lot about the business. His sister, Lisa, that kind of almost for a long time became a full-time job. Everybody was scanning, and like I showed Mark too, the way I convinced Mark, I bought a book. So American seashells, oh no, it was Russian seashells. I think it was Russian seashells, that's what it was.
Oh, how sweet.
No, seashells, like the ocean seashells.
Yeah.
It was a really big hardcover book.
He's
and he had it on the table, and at the time he didn't believe in the scanner. And I scanned it. I'm like, hey, just, you know, that scans out at 50 bucks. And it had a slow sales rank, but it's still scanned out at 50 bucks. Well, usually Amazon, anything on books, $1 million under is good. And he's like, well, if it's 50 bucks, give me $5. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
Mark,
no problem.
Yeah, here's $5. I gave him $5. And then we put it, so when I got back to the house, like the $50 listing was gone, and the next listing was like $600.
What?
Yeah, remember that? So just for fun, I put like $299.99. And like 4 weeks later, it sold. And I got the thing. I told Mark, I showed him on my phone, and I brought the printers and read a book he sold me for $5. Bam, sold for $300. He's like, oh, damn. You know? And he's like, you know what? I'm going to buy a scanner. So he went out and bought the same scanner deal I had. Steve bought the same scanner deal.
And you know who else he shared this story with too? Dave Hester. You taught Dave Hester about Amazon. Yeah, that's when Dave Hester still had a store.
Yeah, I told him to scan everything.
Yeah.
And then also my good friend...
That was the beginnings when Storage Wars first started.
Yeah, my good friend Rommel Sikander, I showed him, you know, so we all started... Rommel even took it to a whole nother level. He made a deal with another company where he buys, and they, like anything he buys, they pay him 80%, so he doesn't even have to sell on Amazon. So, but that's... So this story is kind of going different from what we wanted to do right now. But
we're just giving you, you know, the behind-the-scenes stories.
Yeah, so, but that teaches you, if you treat people crappy, you be really careful. They revolt. And then that guy couldn't buy nothing in a swap meet anymore, because we checked all toys, books, CDs. Like, I had an employee, or Casey would come out, and I'm just making corner table. I'm like, hey, this stuff is not for sale, until she scans everything. And we scan everything. We used to take every weekend, like on a bad weekend, $200 to $300 worth of CDs, DVDs, and books. On a good weekend, if we find the right locker, $3,000 to $4,000, and we would ship every day. So... All right, how did we get kicked off Amazon?
Okay, here we go. This was the whole point of the video at the beginning.
Yeah, we were doing like 100,000 a year probably on Amazon, sometimes 60, sometimes 100. We were doing really good money with very little effort. At the end, we had like a couple thousand items listed. But then, you know, a lot of slower moving item stuff that were waiting, and we weren't refreshing listings anymore because we were doing Storage Wars full time. So they started doing those, I don't even remember what it is, I think DSR, seller's defect rate, or SDR, something like that. And they said if your rate is over 1% of unsatisfied, you get your account suspended. Now, we've done hundreds of thousands of dollars of business on Amazon. This guy, this kid buys a PC computer game. I still remember what it was, Silent Service 2 and PC. The reason I knew what that was, Casey bought it for me for Christmas, but then I never ended up playing it, and I just listed it on Amazon. A long time ago, just because we're sitting, I'm like, oh, listed. I think we listed it early. We bought that directly from Best Buy, or I had a second copy or something like that, you know. So, but it was brand new sealed. We bought it ourselves directly from Best Buy. This was not from a storage or anything. This is something that we bought. This kid buys it. He gets it. He keeps it for like a week. Then he sends a message, hey, this is a counterfeit game. It's fake. I want my money back. We're like, it's not counterfeit. It's brand new sealed. But, you know, like, whatever. Go ahead. Return the game. We'll give you a full refund. So, of course, he got the refund right away from Amazon. Never returned the game. So now we got a defect for that. I'm like, okay, wow, this guy just totally got the game for free. And I'm fine with that. I don't mind losing. People will steal. It happens every now and then. If it's bigger items, you know, there's stuff that we can do.
Right, it's the cost of doing business.
Yeah, it was like a $20 or $30 game. I'm not going to be worried about it, you know. But what I was really upset about, that Amazon dinked our account for that, because we have done nothing wrong. This guy's just full of crap. and wants a free game. That's why the video game category is a really tough category online. You deal with a lot of people, especially that just trying to steal games from you.
Was it an expensive game, like $30 or like?
$30 there. It's not.
Dang. You can buy a sandwich with that money.
You can buy a lot of sandwiches with that money. But still, it's like, it was just a principle. You know, now eBay's a lot better because those guys get their account striked and they get away with 2 or 3 times. And then, back then it was a lot easier for them. Now then, so the problem was because we really weren't refilling, we weren't adding nothing. Like, even with eBay right now, we've been so busy. I just did the first listing since last year, November. And we still sell every day, but nothing huge, you know, not crazy amounts. When we go full time, we sometimes do 50 packages a day. Now we might do 2 or 3 a day. So same thing with Amazon, but we're doing like 1 or 2 packages a day. And still shipping everything fast. We usually upgrade shipping. We did everything. If somebody unhappy, just send it back. We'll give you your money back. If it was a true mistake where we felt we really made a mistake, we just let them keep the item. But we don't really do that anymore because people try to take advantage. We just try not to make a mistake. And so at the time, we weren't really selling anything. So when you worry about that, ODR, that's what it was, ODR ratings. So when you worry about that 1%, that thing really hurts you. Then this other girl, and she was actually really nice. She didn't make a complaint. She just sent me an email. She bought a Japanese anime doll. And it was a rarer one, like a special issue one made in Japan as an American version, stuff like this too. She paid $75 for it. The common version is like $40, $50. This was $75. She gets it in the mail. Now also the pictures is exactly what we sent her. She gets in the mail. She's like, hey, I'm buying this for my boyfriend for his birthday. The printing looks a little bit less, and the hair color is a little bit off also. Is this a counterfeit thing? Never complained, nothing, just an email message, but she mentioned the word counterfeit. I sent a message back, definitely not a counterfeit. This is actually a Japanese version. It's a special collector's version. It's not a mass-produced version, you know?
Which actually makes it better, right?
Yeah, and I showed her a bunch of links on eBay too. It's like, hey, you can see them here. And that's why you actually paid the extra $25 because you got the rare version. You didn't get the version that every store got, you know? But if you're not happy with it, if that's what you... Don't worry about it. Send it back. I'll give you money back. And, you know, I want you to be happy. And she's like, no, it's cool. I did some more research. I'm good. But because she sent us that email and asking if it's a counterfeit, not even filing a complaint, just asking to clarify because she didn't know what she bought, Amazon dinged our account for that because for potential counterfeit, which is so stupid. So now we're not barely doing any sales, and our ODR rate went to like 1.87%, and 1% is the trouble. Amazon shut down our account. We had like 2,000 listings gone and just shut it down. Every time you send them a message, you just get an automated reply. It's somebody in Pakistan or India, and, you know, I sent them a whole letter, explain both scenarios, what happened, explain to them. I'm like, also, please look at our track record. We have thousands of feedbacks. We sold hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff. We're not listed in a private name. We're listed as a corporation, our business. I said, hey, this is our corporation. This is our store location. I also used, hey, we're on Storage Wars. I mean, we're not, like, selling counterfeit stuff, you know?
Yeah, that was the year we filmed 48 weeks out of the year.
Yeah, in a row. It was really exhausting. That was season 4.
Was a very
so it's season 4. This is almost 10 years ago now. And I sent them a letter and no reply. Oh, like, they addressed nothing. I sent a letter. Oh, you need to tell us your new business plan. So I'm like, okay. So then I play the game. So I'm like, okay, we try to verify their merchandise more and show direct and stuff like this. Again, automated. And everything's automated. It's like, oh, you tried 3 times, suspend it. There's no phone number you can call. There's nobody you can talk to. You're not going to get an email reply that's other than automated. So you're just part of an automation at this point. And then I'm like, okay, well, I can make another account and another name, but do I really want to do that? I mean, this is a company you're going to spend a lot. We spent hours and hours listing on Amazon inventory. We still got a whole office where the whole office, everything is inventoried in Amazon. It's listed on Amazon. You good? Or the time?
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost done with this video. Thank you. So we still got an office where everything is listed, inventories with Amazon stuff. We have tens of thousands of dollars in merchandise. And I'm like, do I want to spend with a corporation that's just going to kick me off? That's the scary part. So I meet people all the time, oh, we just do Amazon. I'm like, well, you better be careful. Because if they shut you down, your whole business is shut down. You want to be diversified.
Yeah, always have a backup plan or have several modes of selling your items.
The funny part on our seller account, lately we get stuff listings. Your listing is listed, but it's not updated. It needs to be updated. It's going to get kicked off. And I'm like, dude, you guys suspended my account like 8 years ago.
Are you getting emails like that? Really?
It's so funny from Amazon like this. And then one time I tried to email. I'm like, hey, this is what happened. Is there somebody I can actually talk to now? and still just an automated reply. It doesn't make sense.
I know what to do. You know, why you're getting those emails is because Jeff Bezos said, "Oh my gosh, we accidentally made that mistake," and it was actually him just privately emailing you.
I don't think so. I don't think Amazon can. eBay for a while, for you old-time sellers, eBay kind of was like that. When they were trying to become Amazon, and they had a company out there called Buy.com. And they were really pushing them, and they started doing all these ratings and kicking off all kinds of sellers that were good sellers. I mean, that's bad sellers, and you should get rid of bad sellers. It's funny, though. You go on Amazon, there's people selling stuff from China that's originally counterfeit, and they have 10,000 transactions. They don't say anything. So we have everything, pay our taxes, business licenses, everything. And then it's just, but you can't talk to anybody. Our company's so big, it's all automated. They don't care. They kicked us off, never said anything. I tried sending emails everywhere, and then I got to the point, I'm like, you know what? I got the store, I got eBay, I got other outlets, and we just never did it. Now, Amazon is still a really good tool to use, I think, if you can. But you just really have to be prepared that they shut it down any time. And when you do, there's nothing you can do. And you don't even have to be wrong. So if you get unlucky and you don't have enough sales for this month because you haven't listed enough, and you happen to have 3 guys that happen to buy something from you that scam you, you screwed. That's it. If the ODR goes over the thing. So like if I ever were to open up another Amazon account, I would not sell toys, which they don't let you sell toys anymore. If you have brand new sealed toys, you got to list it in collectible now. You cannot sell it as brand new anymore, even though it's brand new. And the collectible listings are really suppressed. So toys, unfortunately, most toy sellers cannot sell toys anymore. I would probably still sell CDs because that's popular and that you don't really have much scamming with CDs. And I would mainly just sell books. But even with books, that had happened where people buy really high-end research books, use them for 60 days, then want to return them. That happens on art books. But again, most of the books, if you don't sell them, they don't have that much value. But if I list them online, I get 50, 60, 100 bucks. Part of cost of doing business. And when these people abuse it, they lose their accounts. But I would sell books. I definitely would not sell video games on Amazon. I definitely would not sell baseball cards on Amazon, even though there's really good. You get really good money for them. But I have some friends that's all they do is sell brand new Pokemon cards and baseball cards, and they tell me all the time people will open up, go through them, reseal them, send them back, and there's nothing you can do.
That's terrible.
Yeah, so it's basically you up to hoping that you don't get bought by scammers that just try to take advantage. But, for books and stuff, it's still really great. Probably what we're going to do, because we do have thousands of books that are really good books, we're probably going to go on 8 books, or there's several other sites that are really good, and some stuff on eBay too. But, yeah, that's the story how we got kicked off of Amazon. There's a lot of you guys been asking in the comments, when are you going to tell us the section? There's one particular user that asks me every time I go live, so leave us some comments in the studio.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Like and subscribe. If you have any tips, let us know how you like Amazon. If you're from Amazon directly, send me an email. If Amazon ever sees this and sends me an email, I'll share it with you guys. But it's funny because I really did like the Amazon marketplace for a long time, but I think it's been like 10 years since we sold them there, right? But when it was good, it was good. We used to sell a lot. Like I wouldn't list any toys on eBay anymore back then. Boxes. I remember one time we were in Pahrump, and we still lived in Vegas at the time, and we would go to all the pawn shops and buy the box sets. And usually the deal we had with them, they said any box set back then was $5, DVD box sets. And we went to the store in Pahrump, and we only go there once a year. And he's like, "Oh yeah, Rennie, we got like 800 box sets in the back. Remember that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like okay, can I go through? He's like, "Yeah, $5 straight across." I'm like, "Cool." So we ended up buying like 500 box sets, $2,500, and Tatiana was just born. It was a lot of money for us at the time. And I remember we drove home. We got home at like, I don't know, probably like 6 o'clock at night or so, because it's an hour drive. I listed every single box set on Amazon. We also bought the auto repair machine for $5,000. So every box
set. So it's a CD cleaner.
CD cleaner, CD repair, but a high-end one. So every box set that we sent out, the CDs were in mint condition. I listed all that stuff on Amazon until about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, because back then that was a lot of our money. I wanted to start getting money back in. And this was like 15 years ago, probably 15, 16 years ago, right? So I listed everything till 2, 3 in the morning. I was like falling apart because I probably got up at 6 in the morning. And back then I used to get up earlier because, it was different life back then. And I went to sleep. The next morning when I woke up, which was probably, I slept in that day, so I probably slept till 12 or so. We had like $4,000 in order. So I got all $2,500 back, plus $1,500, and I only sold about 30% of the box sets. And we shipped it. So then obviously we woke up and Casey was up already, and we started shipping everything. We started repairing any CDs that we thought needed repair. And we always used to sell them as like new or very good, depending on the CDs and stuff like this. And yeah, we spent the next few hours packaging, shipping everything, and we always would upgrade the shipping too, so the customer had a better experience. Like, we were expected to send media mail, but we would ship first class or priority mail back then automatically to give them a better experience. And yeah, that was really good. That was great. We made our money back plus profit, which making $1,000 back then, that was a nice chunk of change, right?
Yeah, it's a good way to wake up in the morning.
Yeah, and then we sold every day. We sold more and more box sets. So Amazon, you know, I'm not ragging on them. It was definitely good. I just wish they would have the customer service a little bit more. Not customer service, but they really care about the customers, but it doesn't seem like they care about the sellers. And I don't know if that is because they sell so much themselves, so they don't care about third-party sellers as much anymore.
Probably.
Or if they're just too big. And I haven't tried in 10 years. And there's guys that came along and said, hey, you know, give me $3,000. We had these companies, we get your account reopened. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want it like that. I don't want to do anything shady. I don't want to do anything I need to do. I know I can just start a new corporation, put it in her name, or I don't know if this was through her or my name. I got to check. I think it was through my name. And just doing that account, but I really don't want to do that. And I don't want to build up to 10,000 items or 50,000 items, and then bam, they shut you down again, you know? So it's just not worth it, and honestly, I don't need it. Now, if all of a sudden I ever get an email from them saying, hey, you know, we reviewed your account, we've seen past, there was mistakes, we want to open you up, I would list again on Amazon. So list while you can, because it is good, but do not, like I see so many people that build their whole empire, their whole business just on Amazon that can really backfire. So make sure you're diversified. Anyway, story time in the new studio.
Hope you liked it.
Love you guys.